Guess my train of thought is leading me to talk about successes and failures. How do you end up not being successful in this world, or not finding the path that was created for you? I've been down many paths in my life, but several of them never stuck. But I'm going to navigate these waters a little different now that I'm a poet and an author. And I hope you guys will buy and purchase my books and my thoughts and my knowledge, that my experiences, that I can help someone else through pain. Because I believe that's what my mission in life is, to help someone else. We're helpers. All of us are helpers. But, when you get that knack and you find your way, and you've been through a lot of fire and flood, you can show somebody else how to navigate these waters and come through a victor. And so most of it, in the beginning of it, is having a positive attitude. That's a hard thing to do when you're living in a world where it's not positive, but everything around you is negative. But we got to continue and keep on forging ahead. Keeping a positive attitude means not allowing thoughts to come into your mind that is going to hinder you from moving ahead. I don't want to get into religion, but I guess you would say evil versus good thoughts, or would you say non-productive versus productive thoughts? You can look at it that way, because when you start going down the religious sector, then it becomes religious dogma, and we don't want to head in that direction. We want to head in the direction produces an even flow outcome. So I would say productivity versus non-productivity. So you want to head toward the productivity segment in your life. You don't want to dwell on the non-productive, which is sitting around saying, hey, this is not going to work. Got to think of a strategy. You got to think of strategies, meaning you got to get a team sometime to help you. But I think before you can even begin that, I've been thinking really about why I've been running in circles my whole life. I don't want to, like I said, I started to really process the whole thought about religion as I really started becoming an English major. And I would like to finish my English major. It's always a knock. Something always come up to hinder you from finishing. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to finish. However long it takes, I have to finish that English degree. I did communications for a number of years and did a lot of things, but I didn't get to that place I wanted to be. And I didn't get to that place where, not even that you want to be, but in a position to help somebody else through the floods. So I think through my writing, that's going to be my knack. But I'm here for y'all. If you have any questions about producing positive thoughts versus negative thoughts, or you feel like your life is just swinging in the balance, we can work this through. I've had a lot of pain in my life, but I've navigated those waters where I had to let go of that pain and come out on the other side. The question is, how do we find peace? The question is, how do we find peace? And I'm not saying peace in the middle of the storm. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm not quoting no biblical anything. Just in the natural sense, how do we find peace? Because I think peace is the most important item a person can ever have in life. It's priceless. Peace over money. I think a lot of people want money over peace, but they never find it. Even with the situation with Diddy right now, is he at peace? Yeah, he had a lot of money, probably still do have a lot of money. But does he possess peace? Does he have peace? You know, that's why I started looking at, a lot of us want peace, but we don't have it. We're getting closer to peace, but we don't have it yet. And I'm starting to look at the fundamentals of obtaining peace. You know, peace is the type of word people use when they depart, as well as greet. As you hear most of these Muslim guys will say, peace God, peace God, or whatever. They greet each other with peace. You also leave in peace. So, how do you remain in peace is the question I'm asking tonight. How do you remain peaceful? I think that's a very profound question to ask. You can have peace today, but no peace tomorrow. How do you acquire peace and hold it? I want to hear what you guys got to say in the comments, because I think peace is the most important, valuable item that you can obtain in life. So hit me in the comments, y'all. Let's have this discussion. How do we find peace? When you feel like your life is collapsing and falling in, just do something nice for somebody, you know. I feel like that helps when you take your mind off of you and go cheer somebody else up. I used to do that when I was living in New York. I used to just go drop off stuffed animals or something to the kids at the hospital. But, you know, I wouldn't leave my name because I wasn't about that. I would just do it. And that made me feel better because I say, you know what, even though everything is collapsing around me, hopefully that inspired the kid or cheered them up, because even when I was in the hospital, I used to just try to encourage, like I was in the pediatric ward in White Plains Hospital, and I used to cheer up this little girl. She was more bad off than I was, even though I was bad off too. I was like, her situation is a lot worse than me because at least I can eat through my mouth. And so I used to just play cards with her, do whatever to cheer her up. I was myself, I think 18 or 17 going on 18, but she was like 9 or 10. Somewhere in there, maybe 8, I don't know, but I used to just cheer up other people when I fell down, you know what I'm saying? That'll take your mind off of you, help you not to be depressed and stuff like that, or, just do little things that make you happy and make somebody else happy. It works, you know what I mean? It may work for the moment, but it works. Keep your mind off the negative thoughts. So, when I say, do something productive, constantly learn new things. I mean, I remember a time when I fought through learning linear editing, and I was like, I can't do this. And then, there was a lady who told me, sit your butt down there, you're gonna learn how to do this. And I'd be mad and fuming hot at her, but she knew there was potential. So, through that push, it helped me to, learn the alternatives of video editing, and then I, of course, later on learned non-linear editing. I sit my butt down and just go through it and try to figure out how to get better at it and how to, edit and stuff like that. But like I said, life takes you on different journeys. It's up to you to navigate these waters and journeys and be intelligent about it so that you come out on top. It may not make you millions, but nothing is more expensive than knowledge. Okay, knowledge is key to get you anywhere in life. So keep that thought, y'all. Knowledge is priceless. All right, so keep your head up. I know it's rough out here, and I'm talking from experience, and I'm talking through experience. Y'all keep your head up. This is the Thought Poet Lord Janelle. Get the books, Thoughts of a Rising Soul and Thoughts of a Dying Soul, out on Amazon. Get that book. THAWTS. I spelled it incorrectly because it would be easier to find on Amazon. Plus, I like to be different. So get the books, Thoughts of a Rising Soul, Thoughts of a Dying Soul. Laura Donnell, the thought poet, true thinker. Thank you. Peace.